Tuesday, the 29th of August. Verse to remember. Husbands, let each one of you love your wife, as Christ loved the church and gave himself for her, that I might sanctify her, having purified her by washing water by the word, to present her to himself as a glorious church, without stain, nor wrinkle, nor thing similar, but holy and without blemish. Ephesians 5:25-27. The Church as the Bride of Christ, Part 2. Listen, according to Corinthians 11:1-4. I would that you would bear me a little in my madness. But bear me still. For I am jealous of you with zeal of God, for I have prepared to present you as a pure virgin to a husband, namely Christ. But I fear that just as the serpent deceived Eve with his cunning, so may your senses be corrupted in some way, and depart from the simplicity of Christ. For if someone were to preach to you another Jesus that we have not preached, or if you received another Spirit that you have not received, or another gospel that you have not embraced, you would rightly suffer it. Question 3. What elements of ancient marriage did Paul use to catch the attention of the Corinthians? When does the presentation take place? Using a final element of the ancient marriage, in Ephesians 5:25-27 Paul portrayed Christ as the one who presents the bride. In the past, the bride was presented by the godfather, the godparents or her father, never by the groom. Paul, however, imagined Jesus presenting the church as his bride. The apostle used marriage customs and functions to highlight Christ's relationship with the church in a current chronological pattern, A. Engagement. Christ gave himself for the church and so engaged with L. 2. Preparation for the wedding ceremony. The bridegroom's attentions continue in his efforts to sanctify and purify the bride. 3. The wedding ceremony itself. The attentions of Christ in the present are aimed at the presentation of the bride at the wedding. This last element looks at the wedding celebration, when Christ the bridegroom will return to claim the church as a bride and present it to himself. Old weddings usually started with a night parade. The groom and his procession gathered at the groom's house, the couple's new home, and with great ceremony began a parade. Lit by torches and accompanied by joyful and rhythmic music and great rejoicing, the crowd moved towards the house of the bride's father. Meeting there with the bride, or finding the bride's parade on the way, the procession led the couple to their new home, where the guests settled on a week-long feast that would culminate in the wedding ceremony, when the bride would be presented to the groom. When Paul portrayed Christ presenting the church to himself, he made reference to this great procession and the moment of presentation. In doing so, he showed a moving picture of the return of Christ as a future wedding ceremony, when the long engagement between Christ and his church will be complete, and the marriage will be celebrated. What message should we draw from all these positive, happy and hopeful images?